Welcome back, guys, and in this clip we'll talk about the simulation process of the dust using the n particles with the type as a sprite. So let me play the timeline and show you what I've got. So this is just a simple effect of a dust, simple but yet powerful and effective, almost like a real time. That's the beauty of the sprite particles. And one another good thing is that in this effect I'm using the same file texture that I've used in the previous clip. The one that I have created with the help of the fluids, they are now being getting used inside this clip also. The only change that I did is the change of the color, because the color of the dust is a little brown kind of, whereas the color of the smoke is a little white or a gray. That's the only difference. Rest everything is the same. We have pay attention on the attributes of the sprite particles, that is the overall lifespan, the emission and everything. Alright, so without any further ado, let's get started with the process of creating the dust particles with the help of the sprite. And before we get started, I also wanted to show that if I'm inside the shaded mode, let's say I press the shortcut key 5, and now if I play, you can see it's just some smart and intelligent images which are getting rotated at some random angles, and for every single frame they are getting rotated, I think so 1 degree or maybe 1.5 degrees. Alright, that's something which is very nice, and that is basically the twist PP inside the sprite particles. Alright, now let's do one thing. Let's get started with the process of creating the dust. Alright, so I'll get started with the same scene, and I'll just get rid of the the particle system and all. So let me select the emitter and the particle 1 and just delete that. And this is just simply a cloth. So I'll do one thing. I'll just make this disable, and we'll use them a little bit later. So I just press Ctrl A, hit the enable option to make this disable, and just hide this stuff. No problem. Now the first thing is to create the n particles. Yes, we can go inside the n particles menu, and we can go with the create emitter. Over here we have the basic, the cube based emitter, the volume shape set to the cube, which is the default. So the first thing is to change the default shape from cube to the sphere. Okay, and obviously we can scale this stuff, we can just reposition this, not a problem. And if I play the timeline, you can see the particles are with the default values. They are just getting dropped near onto the surface of this, you can say, the concrete or this floor. And let's do one thing. If we want to make the dust move away to simulate an effect of a dust puff, so we can use the attribute that is away from the center with the value of, let's say, 15. And let's say we use a value of along axis to give a push to the particles to the upward directions. Let's do one thing. Let's play, and then we'll see what we can have. I think so that is sufficient, but still we can give some little push in the upward direction while using the attribute the along axis set to the value of 5. Alright, and let's also give some random directions, let's say a value of 10. Okay, now let's play. Now the only problem inside this effect is that this is the continuous emission of the problem. So this is how this effect of the dust makes itself a bit different from the one which we have already created, that was the smoke being a continuous uh, emitting object. So we cannot just let the particles to get continuously emitted from this emitter, so we can bring down the rate. So let's do one thing. Let's key this down, and we can key select the rate, and let's move to a frame of maybe 20, and let's say we put a key of 0. And I think so I have to give a key in the first frame also, which I have missed, so let's put a key over here. Now let's move to the frame 20th. Now from 21 frame we can give a value of, let's say, 200. Alright, and put a key, and from 21 to maybe 24, let's maintain the same value, the magnitude 200, and at a frame 25th we just can give a value of 0. Alright, and put a key over here, not a problem. So this way we can simply control the emission of the particles. That's fine. And if we just want, we can also change the interpolation settings. I think so we must be having some different interpolation settings. Yes, so let's put them thing to the step. We can click over this step tangents. That's nice. And even you can just push that key, that is the key at frame 20, to instead of 21 to maybe at 20. That's your own artistic decisions, not a problem. close this ones, and now it's time to bring the sprite particles. So can press Ctrl A, and we can change the render types from the points to the sprites. All right, and now if I play the timeline, we can notice this is what we have. And I think so the rate of the particles is a bit slow or a bit less. So let me just increase the time slider at a frame 26 to maybe 27. All right, so that we can have some more quantity of the particles. Okay, that's fine. We can still tweak this, not a problem. And let's do one thing, let's also reduce the away from the center. I think so it's a way too much high value, so I dip that down to almost 50%. Alright, now if we play, alright, so this seems quite good. Now first we can select the end particles. Alright, and it has been set already to the sprite. Now let's move to the PP attributes. The process is going to be the similar one that we have already used while creating the smoke effect. So pick the sprite, twist PP, scale XY PP, and don't click the sprite scale Y and X, because they won't give you the PP attributes. Only the PP can give you the per particle access. Alright, so you can use the ramp and expressions inside this. Hit the option OK. Now first we can go inside the sprite twist PP over here, go to the create expressions, and inside the creation mode we can have a random value. Let's say is equals to a value ran, that is the 360 comma minus 360. Alright, and similarly we can go inside the runtime before dynamics and can use the value sprite twist pp plus equals to 1.5, 1 or maybe 2, whichever way you want. Now if you play, I just want you to focus on the overall, see now see the motion. They are just simply been getting rotated, and they all are in the random directions. All right, you could find them a little difficult because they are not twisting, so you still can increase this value to maybe, let's say, 2.5, not a problem. And now if we play the timeline, we must see some change. Yes, now they are simply getting twist. All right, now that's fine. Now it's time to work on the settings of the particle, the sprite scale XPP and YPP. So I'll do one thing, I'll take a pause from this clip and I'll continue with the same topic in the next clip. Alright, so see you there in the next clip.